Good morning. So I'm Will Masters. I teach here in the Friedman School. And 6 months ago, I got a note from Danny Nierenberg, the creator of the food tank, the visionary behind this, putting in motion what led to today. And of course, I was super excited about it. I was like, wow, this is really great. And pretty much every week since then, for the last 6 months, I've just been astonished at the depth and the range of people who've come together to make this possible. So the sponsors coming forward and saying, yes, we want to be part of this to make it possible to even have it. The speakers you're about to hear, and especially all of you in the room, in the building, and online, wanting to have this conversation about investing in discovery, finding out what works and bringing it to life in each of your different ways. The speakers you're going to hear from entrepreneurs, from people in politics and media, and in academia, doing the research to find out basic things, and then the research to find out how it works in practice, and the entrepreneurship to invest in that discovery and scale it up, bring it to life, and so forth. And I think there's no better place to have this conversation than right here in the Friedman School at Tufts University and in the city of Boston. So we're going to start this with the dean of the Friedman School and with the initiatives of the city of Boston, with Daria Mozaffarian and Catalina to talk about the city initiatives. And we'll end the day, of course, with a great food hero, not just for me, for us, but literally millions of Americans, with Congressman Jim McGovern on the work that he does in Washington for our food system, quite literally from the bottom up, for the millions of participants in SNAP and WIC and the other programs that he fights for in Washington. So this is a great place to have this conversation. It's also, as I don't need to remind you, but I will, an essential time to have the conversation. So this is an extreme year, not just in Washington, as you'll hear, not just in the UK and Europe and so forth, but in the region where I do most of my professional work. There's not just one, not just two. There are 3 countries facing a famine this year, and it's only April 1st. We're only 1 quarter into the year. These famines in Africa are smaller in magnitude and with appropriate response will be briefer in duration than the kinds of events that happened when I was a kid and that got me wanting to work on agriculture and food in Africa. But they are extreme years, extreme events in this extreme year. So this is a great place and a great time to have this conversation about investing in discovery. And to start it, a really remarkable person. So Daria Mozaffarian is the dean of the Friedman School. And I want to say just a few words about where he's coming from to give you a sense of the depth of backgrounds that each of us brings to the conversation and that he'll start us with. So Daria began his professional career as a cardiologist, working with individual patients, treating the diseases that have now clearly understood, often dietary causes. And he, in order to pursue those, trained in epidemiology to investigate not the life stories of not just his own patients, but the hundreds and thousands of people in cohort studies, and then moved on to diet causes of other diseases. So he became one of the leading, if not the leading, cardiovascular epidemiologist in the United States, and then turned to many other diseases, and then to the life histories of literally millions of people through the Global Dietary Database project that he created. And furthermore, turned to the levers of that influence dietary intake around the world, bringing in economists like myself working on how markets work, how policies alter incentives and change diets that way. And in so doing, from being a practicing cardiologist working with individuals to national and global data on how diets influence all kinds of disease, gives us just a tremendous platform from the individual to the global of seeing how diets matter for people on the health side. And we have, of course, many voices talking about the environmental side and many other aspects of the food system today. So it's a great privilege, really, to be part of this conversation today. I hope you appreciate and enjoy just how wide and deep the level of excitement and interest around this topic is. And we get to start with Dari Mozaffarian.